Previously on the last Pokemon Crystal SuperMON run. Very drunk in the Kimono Girls Dance Theatre last night, and coming up, we have plenty of plant life in here ready to be ignited. Welcome back to SuperMON. This is the series where we take a Pokemon, give it 4 moves and 1 life, and see just how far through the challenge we can make it. Some Pokemon are very easy, and other Pokemon like MAGCARGO are very difficult. MAGCARGO doesn't have much going for it, as you will learn throughout the course of this challenge, and we don't even have Hidden Power as a backup, like we did with some of our regular timed challenge runs. But I'm not going to spoil too much. I'll hand you over to the live run and we'll see how MAGCARGO fares. Before we get into this one, I want to make something abundantly clear. I adore MAGCARGO, so much so that it is the mascot of the channel, and a couple of very wonderful people have made fan art of MAGCARGO for the channel. I have put them on screen to keep us company throughout this run, because I'm probably going to be saying some very nasty things about MAGCARGO, because it will not be good in the SuperMON challenge. Before we get into the run, I do want to say thank you to both Bugsy and IDK, what username to do, for the MAGCARGOs that you drew. They will be keeping us company, and I am sure that everybody watching will love them as well. Aren't they just so adorable? MAGCARGO's one of those Pokemon that no matter how you draw it, it will never ever look anything other than cute and non-threatening. Having said all that, MAGCARGO's not great for a solo run in the slightest. It's got trash stats compared to what we're after. 80 in special attacks, its best offensive stat. 50 in physical attack. It's got no speed, it's got no special defense compared to its 4 times weakness, and it's got low HP. And then we look at the moves, and my goodness, it's not good. Slim pickings comes to mind with the moves. We've got Amnesia, which is absolutely going to have to go on the learn set. Flamethrower is going to be our best special attacking stab move. We're probably going to put on Rock Slide as well, and then maybe Earthquake. I've got to be honest, I'm not planning to get very far in this one. I don't think we're going to get out of Johto, and if we do, it will be a small miracle. And for that reason, I'm not going to plan the learn set around the later game. Definitely not planning it around blue or red, and we're probably not going to plan it around the league either. So let us pick our moves. We will start off with Flamethrower, then we will teach Amnesia. That's probably going to come in far handier than we would like it to be. We will go for both Rock Slide and Earthquake in this one. I'm not sure whether we will need both or whether one would be better than the other. But for attempt number 1, we will do Rock Slide, and we will then put Earthquake in slot number 3. I don't think we're going to get very far at all, at least on our first attempt. We might get further on multiple attempts, but for this first one, if we can make it, say, as far as Jasmine, I will be happy. Let me know, though, how far do you think we'll make it on our attempts? No cheating as well, no skipping forward, let me know now. How far do we think we're going to go? Now, I have come to the realisation with the SuperMON runs that I enjoy either the really good Pokemon or the really terrible Pokemon. I'm not a big fan of those in the middle of the pack, so to speak, so there's probably going to be a healthy mix, at least at the beginning, of the very good Pokemon and Pokemon like MAGCARGO, where the less said about it, the better, although it is off to a good start. It's going to be 3 one-shots to get us beginning this challenge, but it will get harder very quickly. Now, if you do like the SuperMON challenges, I will remind you that you can always subscribe to the channel. If you like this video in particular, you can always feel free to leave a like as well. And if you do want to see all of the challenges that little bit earlier, you can join the channel membership and become a HM friend of the channel. Channel members get access to all of the videos a lot earlier than everybody else. For the time challenge runs, it's generally some point between a week and 2 days before they go live. For the SuperMON runs, as soon as they are ready and rendered, they get uploaded, so goodness knows how far in advance some of the SuperMON challenges are at this point. But with that free heal out of the way, we will ignite this Caterpie, and then we shall move on to rival number 1. This is probably going to be the one and only time the rival will be described as easy, and he leads with Totodile. We are going to use Earthquake, and it's probably going to be a 3-shot, except it's 2-shot because we critical hit. Let's hope we are not using up all of our critical hit luck early on in the challenge. Some of the much later battles will absolutely need critical hits if we are to get through them. So yeah, I really hope that we aren't using up that critical luck at the very, very beginning of the challenge instead. We will name the rival triple question mark, we'll have a little chat with Oak, and he will squish the SuperMON who gives us our moves, and we'll get out of here now. And already I am stressing about our first gym together. We should be able to do a lot of damage with Flamethrower to Falkner's Pokémon, but they both will be carrying Mud Slap, and there is a very, very, very low chance that we outspeed either the Pidgey or the Pidgeotto, so there is a high possibility of us not even making it past Falkner on our very first attempt. I'd like to think that we can make it past Falkner, but you just never know. If Mud Slap hits us, it's going to do a lot of damage, and then our accuracy will be even lower than we would like it to be. Thank goodness we're not relying on Rock Slide, because even though Rock Slide would be a super effective move, having that combined with Mud Slap would probably be an absolutely terrible time. So now we are entering our first gym together, and thank goodness neither Birdkeeper Abe's Spearow nor Birdkeeper Rod's pair of Pidgey have Mud Slap, because that would make even the beginning of this gym an incredibly terrible time for MAGCARGO. We are going to take the small victories as and when they come, and one-shotting those two Pidgey absolutely counts as a small victory. Let us now engage Falkner in battle. He is our first gym leader together. Flying type specialist with a bit of a penchant for the old ground type moves. Led with Pidgey that went down. Look at how much Mud Slap is doing. But we connect Flamethrower both times and we get the victory. I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting that. So I stumbled over my words. I'm not going to complain. We have our first badge and 5 points on the board. Well done, MAGCARGO. So we are through big obstacle number 1, and that means we can take on the Sprout Tower. And I'm absolutely going to be showing an awful lot of this Sprout Tower, because it's one of the very few places where MAGCARGO will have a proper chance to shine. We have plenty of plant life in here ready to be ignited by MAGCARGO's Flamethrower. So we are very, very happy to be able to get up to the next level cap. A little bit easier than if we didn't have Sprout Tower available to us, because a lot of the good XP Pokemon on the next route are Water type, or they're Ground type, or in the case of Youngster Gordon, they are both. And I don't think MAGCARGO would have a very good time against any of them, especially the Fisher with a Poliwag. He would make for an incredibly bad time, as much as I would like to battle him, because he would give some very nice speed stat experience early on in this challenge, and that is one of the places where we are definitely lacking with MAGCARGO, and we have made it to the very top of the Sprout Tower now. The rival's going to be spouting off about something, we're not going to listen, and instead we are going to engage Elderly in battle. And Elderly does of course lead with Bellsprout. We will use Flamethrower on the Bellsprout, grow up to level 12, he'll send another one out and we'll one-shot it as well. Here comes Hoot Hoot. We use Rock Slide, it connects, and we defeat Elderly. We get ourselves Flash and, more importantly, the Lantern. We're also going to pick up the key escape rope. Let's get out of here and we will make our way towards Azalea Town. We're going to grab the Pearl's Cure Berry. That's going to be imperative if we make it to Clair, because that will give us one free turn of Amnesia without needing to worry about Thunderwave. It's a very, very big shame that there are no held items, even to this day I don't think, that can prevent specific status afflictions. And that's an even bigger shame, because in the code of Generation 2, they actually created the code for those items. They must have just decided they were a little bit overpowered, which, with how much the Gen 2 AI loves to go for status moves, does kind of make sense. They are very much status heavy in this generation, aren't they? Now, I think here in the Union Cave it would be a good idea to take on a couple of the trainers. This Onyx, even though it's a rock type, doesn't have anything super effective against us. Gives us a lot of good stat experience all across the board actually, and we can also take on the set of Geodude here. Geodude has virtually no special defense, but we have super effective Earthquake, and it should be enough to one-shot all 3 of the Geodude. It's slim pickings when it comes to trainers we can battle for experience here in this part of the challenge, but we are being very, very choosy and ending up actually very close to the level cap, even while we are in Union Cave. There's probably one more trainer we can take on, and that is this Fire Breather with the Vulpix. We have the type advantage over this Vulpix, and even Quick Attack can do barely anything at all against us. And we have now made it into Azalea Town, somewhere where I legitimately didn't think we would be a few moments ago, and we're going to go straight into the Ilex Forest here, where we're going to deplete a bunch of PP to try and get some much needed stat experience in our defensive stats. There are a lot of Cocoon Pokemon here in the forest, and well, we're probably not going to get too much before we hit our next level cap. We will hopefully get enough to make Whitney a little bit easier than it otherwise would have been, because of course she's going to go for Rollout with her Miltank, and Rollout is going to hit like a truck. We are weak to Rock because Rock doesn't resist Rock, so we've got to do everything we can to try and bolster up our defences as much as possible. Now, I decided to only go for one set of PP there in the forest, and I think any more than that would have been a little bit overkill, because we can always go back there. It's not going to be locked off after we have defeated Rival 2, and we're not really going to be able to do too much before Rival 2 anyway now. We're not going to get the level cap until after we've defeated Bugsy, and we are then probably going to have to go on a little bit of a grind again to try and get some extra levels in preparation for Rival 2. It's going to be a bit of a slog, but I think getting all the way up to the next level cap might be the right play. It will definitely give us the best chance of getting through Rival 2, because of course we cannot overlevel courtesy of that pesky level cap. But now let's take on who should be a fairly trivial battle. This is the Rocket in the Slowpoke Well. He has a coughing and we one-shot with Flamethrower. That gets us up to 6 points, and we can now go into what will hopefully be one of the easiest gyms we will have. We have fairly good special attack, we have Flamethrower, and therefore we have the type advantage over all of these bugs. In fact, both of our types have the type advantage over the bugs. It's just Game Freak are allergic to having a good rock type move, at least in the early generations. Ancient Power doesn't count because even though it is a very nice move with a chance to Omni Boost, it's only 60 power and it's only got 5 power points, so it really is not worth too much. But now let us take on Bugsy. He is our second gym leader together, a bug type specialist who leads with Metapod. We outspeed the Metapod, we knock it out in one. Scyther comes out to play, Scyther goes away, and that just leaves Kakuna left to go. And we are leaving here with another 3 points. We are guaranteed a minimum of 9 points overall. Let's now get out of here and start the grind up to level 20. And the grind should have started and finished for you. This is the first Ekans actually that I have seen this entire grind session. It took about 5 minutes in total to get through the grinding session. It wasn't a particularly pleasant experience, but it is what I think we need to prepare for Rival 2. Let's now take him on. We're holding the Prosecure Berry in case this Ghastly goes for Lick. It's gone for Hypnosis, which isn't great, but Lick isn't doing too much damage. Let's hope it is a very short nap. I don't know why he went for Spite there. Lick has paralysed on turn 1 like I thought it would. We can now finish this thing off with an Earthquake, providing we get the chance to actually be awake. He's just sapping away more and more at our health here. Not a particularly pleasant experience, but we will one-shot the Ghastly. Well, onto the Croconaw, we do outspeed the Croconaw is what I'm trying to spit out there, and we knock it out, and we can get rid of the Zubat as well. Goodness me, we didn't even need to do Amnesia there because he went for Leah, although I'm wondering if he didn't see a one-shot because we had used Amnesia. I guess we will never know, but that does mean we now have access to Ilex Forest once more. we can reunite the bird with its human. We'll get the scythe for that, and we will chop down this tree. MAGCARGO is surprising me in all the right ways so far. We are getting a lot further than I expected, especially for attempts number 1. Now, we mustn't forget to say hello to the green haired man staring at the tree. He's still a little bit bitter with us because we don't need headbutt anymore, but there's not much we can do. We can't learn it in these challenges. We wouldn't even be able to use it even if we could learn TMs in this run, but that does now mean we are in Goldenrod City. We're going to grab the bike as our first thing like we always do. We will register that because it is very, very handy. We'll go into the underground to beat up our 2 trainers in there in order to get ourselves the rental abra. First up is Donald with his Slowpoke. Flamethrower is going to one-shot, even though it resists us, and will have no problem at all against the Super Nerd and his electric-type Pokemon. He can screech all he wants, but Flamethrower is going to be a guaranteed one-shot on the Magnemite. And with those 2 defeated, we will pick up the coin case. We will then escape rope the heck out of here, and we will go and grab our rental abra. We're not going to be using it straight away though, because we are already at the level cap, and that means there's not much sense in taking on any of the trainers north of Goldenrod when we won't be able to gain any experience. We won't be able to do anything with our stat experience, so instead we will enter into the gym. With last carry taken care of, there's not much more we can do, so we will engage Whitney in battle. She is our 3rd gym leader together today. She is a normal type specialist who leads with Clefairy. We're going to use Rock Slide on the Clefairy as it goes for double slap. We'll finish it off with a Flamethrower, and up next is the cow. She locks herself into rollout, she doesn't crit, and we get the high rolls, so we 2-shot it, and we have defeated Whitney. We obtain the plain badge, getting us up to 14 points on the board, and we will leave with our heads held high, knowing that our MAGCARGO is good enough to get through 3 gyms. That does mean as well we can chat with the eavesdropping so-and-so here and make our way up to Ecruteak City. We are going to have to face the Sudowoodo, and I don't think it would be a good time to engage the Sudowoodo in an actual battle, so we are going to take the coward's way out, and we're just going to flee with extra flee. We say goodbye to the Sudowoodo, we get the big hammer, and then we enter and immediately leave Ecruteak City. There's absolutely no chance of us getting through the Kimono Girls yet, I don't think. So instead we're going to get our levels on the way to the Lake of Rage. As I mentioned in the last challenge, this Nidoking is brilliant for experience, and even though Double Kick is hurting quite a bit, we're absolutely fine, and then we will Earthquake the Nidoqueen as well. She didn't crit us, so that gives us an awful lot of experience, getting us closer to our level cap of 25. Now, this Super Nerd is one that I slagged off in the last challenge, but he is very easy experience for us now, and we will finish off getting to the level cap, courtesy of Camper Spencer. These last 2 Pokemon in his team are a little bit surplus to requirements, but that does get us up to level 25. We can now get back into Ecruteak City, and we can start bracing ourselves because we have another dreaded rival battle to come. I don't think we're getting through this one particularly easily, you know. He does lead with Haunter, and that thing likes to swear at us, but we end up with a Quick Claw proc. That is fantastic. Let us Flamethrower the Croconaw as he goes for Water Gun. A crit would knock us out, but he hasn't crit. We get through. Are we quicker than the Zubats? We are. We knock it out. Here comes Magnemite. There goes Magnemite. We scrape through on 11 HP to get another set of 2 points. We fall through the floor, we release the beasts, and we are out of the frying pan and into the fire. This is Morty. Morty is a dual ghost and poison type gym leader. He loves using Curse, he loves sending Pokemon to sleep, and all of his Pokemon are fast. Curse would be devastating, being sent to sleep would also be devastating, so I've now got to weigh up whether I think the Quick Claw or the Minceberry is the right idea. And after a little bit of thinking, I think we're going to go for the Quick Claw. The Minceberry is good, but I'm less worried about Dream Eater than I am about Curse. The first Ghastly goes for Lick, that's great for us. The second Haunter goes for Nightshade of all things. Now, what about the Gengar? We Earthquake it, Hypnosis is missed, and we get a lovely Quick Claw proc. We will now finish off the last Haunter, and we have a very, very easy Morty battle. Goodness me, I was not expecting that in the slightest. We get ourselves up to 19 points, and we now have the grind up to level 30. The first part of this grind is finally taking on the Kimono Girls. We have left them for long enough. We do survive a single water gun from Vaporeon. That gets us up to level 27, and more importantly, it gets us an extra point up to 20, and gets us the raft as well. I reckon some of the rest of the leveling up can be done around here at the Lake of Rage. We'll skip the Slowbo trainer, but we will take on this Nidoking trainer. That gets us closer to level 28. And I don't think these Gyarados have any water-type moves at all. So we can take on this trainer as well. It's a little bit risky, you know, playing with Rock Slide against anything at all. But as long as Rock Slide connects, we will get a lot of delicious experience points. And Thrash isn't going to do anything to us either. And that has got me thinking we might as well take on the Red Gyarados while we are here. We can use Rock Slide. Thrash won't do anything at all. He's gone for Leah anyway. And that was a very nice and easy little bit of experience just when we needed it. That does mean we can chat with Lance straight away. And technically we could do the rockets right now, but I don't think that would be a good idea. So instead we're going to do our usual bits around here at the Lake of Rage. We'll get the rare candy, and we will also get the other items. We will be using the elixir at some point, I'm absolutely sure of that. But the 2 TMs we can get around here, well, they are just for money. I've not done any vitamin shopping at all yet in this run, but we're at that point where I feel like we can commit to it. So I will now go back to Goldenrod and grab some vitamins. For our vitamins today, I got 3 iron and 3 calcium. Hopefully that will do enough to bolster our defences to get through the next gym, and that's actually where we're heading straight away. We got to the level cap courtesy of Chad's Mr. Mime, so there is 0 sense in taking on any more battles than we have to, because we'll need that experience a little bit later on. That does include Swimmer Kaylee there. We're not going to be taking her on at the moment. Instead, we'll do a heal here in the Pokemon Center at Cianwood, and we'll go into our next gym. Except we won't, because I've just had a thought. We are horribly weak to the fighting type, and we have a gym waiting for us that we have the type advantage over. We are going to go over to the Lighthouse, and we are going to take on Jasmine next. She may be 5 levels higher than us, but her Steelix has no special defense whatsoever, and her Magnemite are fairly weak too. So we will give the secret potion to Jasmine. She'll pretend to give it to Amphi. We will get the heck out of this lighthouse, and we will rush to her gym, where we are going to take her on. So this is Jasmine, our 5th gym leader of the challenge, hopefully not a mistake, and she leads with Magnemite. We outspeed the first one, we knock it out in 1. Here comes Steelix. How much does Flamethrower do? It one-shots. We are in the clear now. We get through the next Magnemite, and we defeat Jasmine to obtain the Mineral Badge, and we now have 10 extra levels to play with. That means we are going to start heading towards Mahogany Town, where we have just finished off the rockets. That does get us an extra point, getting us up to 24. We also get the bath plug so that we can go through any whirlpools, and it also unlocks a fairly easy gym for us next, because this is Price's Ice-type gym. We have the type advantage over the Ice-type, even if he does lead with a pure Water-type, and we will engage him in battle. Rock Slide misses against the Seal as our speed drops, but that doesn't really matter because we're on very low speed to begin with. We will one-shot the Piloswine with Flamethrower, and then we will go back to Rock Slide for the Dugong. It's going to be a couple of shots to knock it out, but we have a very nice and simple price battle there. Glacier Badge obtained, getting us up to 27 points as well. And that means we do now have to think about Chuck. We have put him off for as long as we can, but before we engage him in battle, I do need to weigh up the options. We've got 3 held item options here. We've got the Bitterberry, we've got the mince berry, and we've got the quick claw. All of which will be useful, but I don't know which will be right. I'm trusting my gut here, and I'm going for the bitter berry. I don't know why, but something is telling me that dynamic punch is what we should be looking out for here, really. We are probably going to be able to one-shot this primate, so we're just going to use a couple of amnesia, and then we will get to flamethrower and get, yes, it is a one-shot. Here comes Poliwrath. We don't have anything great for it, so we're going to flamethrower, try and go for the burn. And as it turns out, we have nothing to worry about. Chuck could not land a hit to save his life there with his Poliwrath. That means we have defeated Chuck. We get the call from Elm in a very weird place, and we can finally get the air balloon to fly. The air balloon means I can now get on with our regular housekeeping that we generally do when we get 5 badges in, not 7 badges in, and that does give us access to a second Purr's Cure Berry. We used our first Purr's Cure Berry a lot earlier than we normally would do, but it did get us out of the pinch at Rival 2, and that does now mean we have a replacement for Clair, but we do have an awful long way before we even get to Clair. We've got another rival battle plus a lot of rockets left to go, but before we do that I am going to go back into Goldenrod Mart, and we're going to sell some stuff that we've picked up to try and get some more vitamin money. We can't put any more iron in, so we will sell that. We will also sell this nugget, and we will then go and sell Dynamic Punch as well. Unfortunately, it's looking like we can only buy 1 more vitamin, so we'll grab a Carbose to put with our protein, and we will plonk those in to our MAGCARGO. And honestly, anything at this point is just a bonus. I said at the beginning of the challenge I'd be very happy if we made it past Jasmine. We have made it past Jasmine and then some. Now, I normally skip the rockets in the videos because I don't think they're particularly interesting. However, I'm not sure how much more of an opportunity I'm going to get to have a chat with you all throughout the course of this challenge. MAGCARGO has stunned me so far. I thought I would be having to do at least 3 or 4 runs to get this far with MAGCARGO, so getting it on our first run is very, very impressive from this little snail, and we're at a point now in the challenge where I don't think I want to take it any further if we lose. I have become so attached to Gary with an IE, our MAGCARGO, and I find that happens an awful lot, not only with the SuperMON runs, but when we do our time challenges. If there's a Pokemon that I'm not expecting to do very well, but ends up getting a very, very remarkable run by its standards, I will grow so fond of it. Even a Pokemon like MAGCARGO that was slowest on our timed run leaderboards for so long, I think the fact that it got over the line and it was able to defeat Red without any external help at all went a long way to growing my incredibly soft feelings towards MAGCARGO. I was very indifferent about MAGCARGO until we did that time challenge, and now it has become one of my all-time favourite Pokemon, and that is one of the big things I love about doing these runs. It just gives me that little chance to develop an affinity with any and all Pokemon, and I don't know which ones are going to be those Pokemon until after I have done the runs, and MAGCARGO especially now is one of those Pokemon. And that brings us to the very, very top of the radio tower, where we have the executive with the 6 coughing line, and this should be a very easy battle for MAGCARGO. Coughing doesn't have much in the way of special defense, and we have a super effective move for the wheezing, but we'll just flamethrower it because that is probably a little bit quicker and a little bit safer considering just how low Wheezing's special defense is. But with that, the first half of the rockets is done, and we can make our way in to the rival battle. And this rival battle is another one of those places where we could end up losing the run, so hopefully it won't happen. But let's think about it. We've got quad weakness to his Feraligatr, even though it's only got Water Gun. We could end up being confused by the Golbat at the start as well. His Haunter could lay a curse on us. We could have our accuracy dropped by the Kadabra. There's a heck of a lot that could go wrong here, but we will just have to see. This is Rival 4, and he leads with Golbat. So we are going to start off with a flamethrower against the Golbat, and we burnt it, and it hasn't confused us. Let's move on to the Feraligatr. And I reckon you know that Rock Slide will be the play, but I misclicked there and used flamethrower instead. We are going to try and cling on though. We're down to 14 HP. We use Rock Slide against the Haunter, it connects, and we knock it out. Magnemite is next. We're going to use Earthquake. Sneasel, please don't knock us out. We're down to 4 HP, and we have just about got through Rival 4. Goodness me, I need a breather. This is why I love doing live voiceovers, because you get moments like that. Moments where you don't think you're going to get through something easily, if at all, and yet miracles do happen. This MAGCARGO has been surprising me from start to finish, actually. We got through Falkner on our first attempt, and that really should have been a sign of things to come. No matter what the obstacle is, so far, MAGCARGO has been able to face it and also win like an absolute monster. I am incredibly impressed with this Pokemon. I still don't think that it is going to get much further. I reckon it is very much on borrowed time, but we are going to be riding the high of MAGCARGO doing this well for a very long time to come. For those Pokemon that do have a lot lower expectations set upon them, I think MAGCARGO really has set the bar very high as to what is expected of some of those weaker Pokemon. And I don't mind if it misses Rock Slide against the Bumphead Fireduck. That is a relatively inconsequential miss. So if we can get all of our misses out of the way on the weaker Pokemon that really don't matter throughout the course of the run, then I will be very, very happy indeed. Now, I don't normally record these first few rockets in the last part of the Radio Tower section, but honestly, I don't know if there is a chance of us going down to any of these battles. So just in case, I am recording, because you never know, the Team Rocket Fortress with his Golbat could be the undoing of our MAGCARGO. We could end up being flinch-locked several times in a row. It didn't happen, but it could have happened. I don't think this lady is going to give us any issues though. We have Earthquake for her Arbok, then we can move on to Flamethrower for the Vileplume, and then she has a Murkrow as well. Murkrow's got very, very poor defences, so we can get rid of it in just one hit. We will, however, need to heal for this final executive. He is the very last rocket we will be facing in this challenge, and he leads with Houndour. We've got Earthquake for Houndour, we'll knock it out in one. Now, I don't think it's going to be it is going to be a one-shot on the coffin, goodness me, and we will guarantee the one-shot against the Houndoom. That gets us another point. We are up to 33 points in this run. That is 1/3 of the maximum available number of points. We can be very proud of MAGCARGO, but our next gym leader is not going to be pleasant. Our next gym leader is Clair, and if you remember the original MAGCARGO run, it went something like this.
And now we are on to what might be the most frustrating battle I have ever had in my entire Pokemon playing life. I've been playing Pokemon since 2001. I got the game in 2001, it was Gold actually, my first Pokemon game. And this, in 21 years, is the worst experience in this game of my entire damn life. I cannot stand Claire. We struggle and struggle and struggle. We occasionally get to her Kingdra to get knocked out in one hit. I just have to keep on trying. I dig my heels in, I teach Sunny Day to Gary, see if that helps, because it will reduce the power of water-type moves. This isn't a water gym, but I have to treat this gym like I did with Price's gym, like I did with Chuck's gym, as a water-type gym, because they are using water-type moves and water-type Pokemon, and that is the worst combination for this poor little snail that just wants to get to the Pokemon League. He's fully paralysed, we Sunny Day, we get surfed on, we get a critical hit, because the RNG hates me at this point. It has something against this poor little cephalopod. First turn we get Thunder Wave, which means that berry is ostensibly useless. We can't even get a sunny day off easily. We Rock Slide, it doesn't OHKO. We Flamethrower, we manage to get to the Kingdra, but we're paralysed, we're slow. The sunlight is strong, we manage to Rock Slide it. It smoke screens us, we hit it again, we're in the red. And what does she do? She uses a Hyper Potion. Why does she use a Hyper Potion? Because she is words I cannot say on this channel. We start with Amnesia. Thunder Wave misses. We get paralysed, but we have 2 Amnesias under our belt. She uses Surf. I Rock Slide and take it out with a critical hit. This is positive. Kingdra comes out. Rock Slide does big damage. Rock Slide again, into the red. She uses a Hyper Potion, but we still have the sun on our side. The sunlight fades. So we use Sunny Day. We're outspeeding at this point as well. And we knock out the Kingdra. This is the furthest we have been. We get Dragon Breath. We miss a couple of Rock Slides. And we're paralysed. And now it feels like I'm throwing the dice all over again. We had a way to get through the Kingdra that seemed semi-consistent. And we are throwing the dice on this Dragonair. 10 HP and we knock it out. We are finally through Clair.
So yeah, I don't think it is unfair to say that I am not looking forward to this Clair battle in the slightest. Anything and everything could go wrong here. But having rewatched that original Clair battle, I think our best bet is actually going in with the Quick Claw and just hoping and praying for a Gen 2 Missile 2 with Thunder Wave. And then you never know, we might get a couple of flinches as well from Rock Slide. But do be prepared for this to be the end of the challenge. We have done very well to make it this far, but we will now engage Clair in battle. So full disclosure, this voiceover is being recorded in post, and I will explain why after this battle. There will be a link to the live voiceover in the description. Now, we get phenomenal luck in this Clair battle. Genuinely the best luck I have ever had in any challenge run, or probably even in my entire Pokemon playing career, because everything that could go right did go right. We get the double Amnesia off on the Kingdra, and then we start flinching it. We get the double flinch with a non-100% accurate move, and we critical hit it. And now because we've got the double Amnesia, that means that this Dragonair cannot do that much against us. We're on 32 HP for the last one, the final Thunder Wave misses, and we get through Clair. Now I have had to take about 10 minutes or so just to not only let the adrenaline leave my body after such an invigorating gym battle, but also to try and figure out what on earth to do with the audio for it. Because in the live voiceover, I'm not sure if you have heard, I got incredibly family unfriendly. I got into the zone and I forgot entirely that I was recording a challenge run for content on a very family friendly channel when it comes to our videos. And we've lost it. To Darren of all things. To Flaming Darren with a critical hit. That Clair battle was meaningless. For goodness sakes, let's take a look at the leaderboard. I've got to be honest, I'm gutted. 33 points for MAGCARGO in the end there. That Clair battle was a really, really big piece of good luck, and MAGCARGO deserved to at least see Rival 5. But Darren is going on my hit list. I'm actually quite emotional at the end of this one. It doesn't happen very often at the end of a SuperMON run, or at the end of any challenge run, but this one has really got me in the feels, because MAGCARGO tried its absolute best. It got further than I think any of us expected, and to have it taken away, not by a big leader, not by a rival, not by the Elite Four, not even by a Rocket, but by a rando who is spawn camping the Dragon's Den, feels absolutely terrible. But MAGCARGO did get 33 points overall. It's not coming in last on this leaderboard, so it has a much better record than the original leaderboard where it was in last for well over a year. But with that, we are done for this one. I don't think I can take another emotional rollercoaster with MAGCARGO. If you have enjoyed this one, please do make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. Please click subscribe if you enjoy the SuperMON runs. If you want to see them early, then join the channel membership and become a HM friend. And until next time, I will say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.